Juniata County. Everybody else is in a winter weather advisory that will continue throughout the day and into our Friday morning as well. Now, a winter weather advisory, of course, means minor inconveniences, should still be paid attention to, but means minor inconveniences, as opposed to the winter storm warning in Mifflin and Juniata County. It means something completely different altogether, much stronger activity towards that direction. So here's the plan, timeline, and impacts as we go into tomorrow morning. Wintry precipitation starts before sunrise, and as I mentioned, lasts all day long into our Friday morning. We're going to start off with a quick burst of snow before we transition to sleet and freezing rain. Something that I think is underestimated in this storm system is that potential for accumulating ice as we go into Thursday morning in the early afternoon before we see precipitation change over for some spots into rain. There's going to be a breeze that gusts up to about 20 miles an hour around the lunchtime hour that could start bringing in the potential for some isolated power outages. And again, this lasts through Friday morning. Slick and hazardous travel, certainly on the side roads and some of the side highways. Your majors like 83, the Turnpike, 81, 78 will likely, of course, be the ones that are cleared a bit quicker, but still slick and hazardous travel will be likely Thursday morning into the afternoon and lingering effects through Friday morning. Our temperature trend as we go into tomorrow morning, precipitation again starts to fall right around 4 or 5 a.m. or so. Will be below freezing, but there will still be some warmer air just right above the surface that will start to change that precip, and then we actually gain temperature as we go into the mid to late afternoon hours. Here's how this storm system evolves as we go into tomorrow. It continues to track to the east. We get that mixing precipitation in the morning. The key thing we're going to be watching for this storm to survive into the evening is a transition to that coastal low down to the south to keep the energy up and give us added precipitation and also changing up the precipitation type heading into Friday as well. How quickly that happens, how strong that happens is going to be a telltale sign of the type of precipitation that does fall. So here's Futurecast as we go into tomorrow morning, 3 a.m. Our first few flakes start to push on through our southwestern counties, and then we do also watch that sleet freezing rain line into the morning commute. Your morning commute, hopefully you won't have one as we go into tomorrow, but if you do, will be slick and hazardous with sleet and freezing rain likely throughout all of the morning. Now, once again, this will continue though as we go into the afternoon. We're going to be watching the rain-snow line all day long on Thursday. Warm air comes into the storm system. We see mostly rain, York and Lancaster counties as we go into the afternoon. Areas north and west will have higher likelihood of seeing that snow and also sleet and freezing rain mixing in as well. This is going to be bobbing and weaving all afternoon long. That freezing rain, sleet, snow, plain rain line will be changing between 20 miles all day long between Elizabethtown and Hershey, between Harrisburg and Duncannon, between Mechanicsburg and northern York County, New Cumberland. We're going to be watching that just about all day long. As we go into Thursday, precipitation does look likely to change over to plain rain as we head into late Thursday evening, and then really starts to weaken heading into Friday morning, but we still will see some precipitation for the Friday morning commute as well. Roads slick and hazardous, heavy potential travel delays again tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. By the time we go into the afternoon and the evening, it's just slightly better, but still will likely have some trouble for sure. And then as we go into the overnight hours into Friday morning, it does improve. We have not changed our sleet and snowfall accumulation map since we first put it out, save for maybe northern Dauphin County. 3+ inches of snow and sleet accumulation look likely for Mifflin, Juniata, northern Perry, and northern Dauphin County. If you're in Lewistown, I won't be surprised if you see 4 or 5 inches of snowfall out of this storm system, because you will have the most consistent precipitation type, the colder air, and we'll likely see more of a timeline of seeing of that constant snowfall at times anyway. In the light purple shaded region, Chambersburg, Carlisle, Harrisburg, Lebanon, and communities in between, up to Duncannon, you're going to have a mix of snow and sleet that accumulates to about 1 to 2 inches, and then as rain comes through, as freezing rain comes through as well, melts it down a little bit, you'll have that turn to slush. This is not going to be a pretty storm system by any stretch of the imagination. That will change to slush. If you're in York and Lancaster County, you see only that quick burst of snow and then a couple of hours of sleet and freezing rain before it transitions over to plain rain. A lot of it either slush or washing away Thursday afternoon into the evening. Again, the other thing that I'm closely watching is that ice accumulation on Thursday, late morning into the early afternoon for our western counties. 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch will have better concentration to the western counties. So if the wind kicks up enough and we have some power lines with some ice on them, because the air will certainly be cold enough, could see some isolated power outages again further out towards the west. The type of precipitation that you saw in Futurecast will change depending on where you live. If you're in and around Harrisburg, you see that quick burst of some morning snow before the changeover, and then the off and on time of mixing with sleet, freezing rain, and rain. That continues all afternoon before you change over to plain rain heading to the midnight hour. Lancaster, you almost consistently have rain all Friday or all Thursday afternoon long and into the overnight hours. If you're a snow lover in Lancaster, unfortunately the storm system will not be for you. If you're a snow lover in Lewistown, the storm system will be much more in your favor as you go throughout the overnight hours and into Friday morning. So once again, this storm system pushing on through moves in before sunrise on Thursday morning and will only continue as we go into the day. Everybody sees precipitation all during the daylight hours into the evening and overnight before we dry out on Friday morning. You can expect the latest information, of course, coming up tonight on Fox 43 News at 10. You can always check out fox43.com, our streaming service Fox 43 Plus, and the Fox 43